Okay, question 4. This comes from that very last question on the chapter 4 homework. It really involves just this handful of formulas. It asks you for 4 things. It asks, find the mean, the standard deviation, the minimum usual, and the maximum usual. Okay, so you got to have 4 answers. Now, I've used the fancy U.S. Census notation for mean and standard deviation here, but if you want to switch those out, if you want to write out the word mean and standard deviation, or even if you want to use X bar and S, that'll be fine. You just got to be able to get through the calculations. All right, so the mean is N times P, and then you read it carefully, and you can almost ignore all the words and just read the part where it says N is 40. Yeah, 40. And P is 0.20. So 40 times 0.2. All right, so this is 8. So that would be the answer there. Okay, and then I've got to do the square root of N, which was 40, P, which is 0.20, and Q. Q is failure, so if P is success and Q is failure, altogether that adds up to 1. So if P is 0.2, Q is 0.8, because together 0.2 plus 0.8, that's 20% plus 80%. So that's success and failure. All right, multiply those out. Okay, and then take the square root of that. 2.52. No, let's round it up to 3. Okay, and then the maximum usual, I take the mean, which I already figured out was 8, plus 2 times, and double that, 2.53. So that's 8 plus 5.06, so that's 13.06. I'm having a hard time reading my own writing here. Okay, you take 8 for that, plus 2 times that, okay, 8 plus 5.06, 13.06, and then 8 minus 2 times that, 8 minus 5.06 is 2.94. Now in the homework it said, would you be likely to pass under these conditions? And the answer is always no, you're not going to pass just by multiple choice. So anyway, but it doesn't even ask that here. It just asks for these 4 questions. What's the mean? What's the standard deviation? What's the maximum usual? What's the minimum usual?